the smartest and most successful people I know started out as losers. If you view yourself as a loser, as someone who's been cast out by society and has no role in normal society, then you will do your own thing and you're much more likely to find a winning path. So one thing I don't like to do, by the way, when I do my books on the Kindle, I skip 2/3 of them. And the reason I skip 2/3 of them is because they're kind of embarrassing. They won't sound like good books to read. They'll sound like trivial or silly or whatever, but who cares? I mean, I don't have to tell everybody everything I read. I read all kinds of stuff that other people consider junk or even reprehensible. I read all kinds of stuff that I disagree with because it's a mind bender.
Yeah.
I found myself in some random dark hole in Twitter the other day where I was reading this guy's tweets and I was like, wow, he's really smart. He's really interesting. He's very clever. I was like, wait a minute, this guy is a full-blown white supremacist. I mean, he's not even like mildly a white supremacist. He just thinks like everyone in the white race should be gone and people like me shouldn't be allowed on the streets. But it was still fascinating and he's still really smart. And I kept reading it. And I read it and read it and read it. And after a while, I built up my own sense of his coherent view of the world and where he was coming from. But to do that, I couldn't have judged too much. And I'm certainly not going to go around bragging to my friend, hey, I learned this from a white supremacist the other day, right? So to some level, you almost have to read the stuff you're reading because you're into it. And that's it. You don't need any other reason. There's no mission here to accomplish.
Yeah, if you
just read because you enjoy it.
If you read what everybody else is reading, I mean, there's wisdom that you're going to think what everybody else is thinking. So you need the diversity and almost like an index fund approach, right? Where you're going to catch the winners, but you can't really identify a lot of them beforehand that are going to change you as a person because so much of that is contextual.
Yeah, I think almost everything that people read these days is designed for social approval. All the bestsellers are about social approval and social conditioning. If you really wanted to be successful, happy, blah, 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 all those external metrics, you're looking for a non-average outcome. And so you can't be reading the average thing, to your point. All these things are actually as old as the hills. You could go read Adam Smith and The Wealth of Nations. You could go read Benjamin Franklin and his aphorisms and understand how to live your life. You could read Charlie Munger. You could read Charles Darwin and understand evolution of the source. You could read Watson and Crick and understand the structure of double helix in DNA. But instead, what we choose to read are just whatever's number one at the airport bestseller or whatever our friends are reading. Or I know people who have read 100 regurgitated books on evolution and they've never read Darwin. Or or think of the number of macroeconomists, and they're out there. I think this is most of them who have read tons of treatises in economics, but haven't read any Adam Smith.
Yeah.
Right. So at some level, you're doing it for social approval. You're doing it to fit in with the other monkeys. You're fitting to get along with a herd. But that's not where the returns are in life. The returns in life are being out of the herd. Social approval inside the herd. So if you want social approval, definitely go read what the herd is reading. But it takes a level of contrarianism and saying, nope, I'm just going to do my own thing regardless of the social outcome to learn anything I think that's interesting.
Do you think there's some sort of loss aversion there? Because once you diverge, you're pushing out, say there's a Gaussian distribution, you're pushing out to one of the tails. And if you feel that you're going to lose out on that, you would rather just stay in the middle if there's a chance that you're not going to be in the fat tail for a positive.
Absolutely. I think that's why the smartest and most successful people I know started out as losers. If you view yourself as a loser, as someone who's been cast out by society and has no role in normal society, then you will do your own thing and you're much more likely to find a winning path. So it helps to just start out by saying, oh, I'm never going to be popular. I'm never going to be accepted. I'm already a loser. I'm not going to get what all the other kids have. I'm just got to be happy being me.